So this Santa Inc. situation is obviously a disaster. No one wanted to see this show. The concept is not too bad, a raunchy style Christmas show, a sausage party Christmas style show. Not too bad of a concept, a pretty good idea if I'm being honest, but the execution absolutely awful. No one wanted to see politics injected into Christmas. We just want to feel good when it comes to Christmas time and Christmas shows, Christmas movies. You want feel good movies and you want to be able to have that escapism that everyone claims that they have, including Seth Rogen and Marvel and Disney, Star Wars and stuff like that. They all claim to have that escapism, and yet no one actually provides that escapism. You advertise it and you don't provide it. You just bring us right back into the real world with shows like Falcon and Winter Soldier that just bring straight up real world politics into your shows. This show is no different. Santa Inc. is no different. But if there was a bright side to this whole situation, if there was a bright side to Santa Inc., obviously no one wants this stuff to happen. No one wants these IPs to be ruined with Marvel and Star Wars and stuff like that, and no one wants to see these IPs be created like Santa Inc., where it's just awful. It's like I said in my last couple of videos, it's the Avengers Endgame of the Hollywood brainwashing of these people. It's the big build-up event. Everything was leading to this show. I really think that this is the perfect example of why we complain about where Hollywood is heading, why we complain about Disney, Star Wars. Obviously, it's nowhere near as bad as Santa Inc., but it's just heading in this direction. This is what happens when the stuff in Hollywood, when the propaganda, when the agendas get too extreme, stuff like Santa Inc. happens. That's where we see it going, and for the longest time, everyone's like, oh, it'll never get to that point. It's just, little things here and there where they insert their own politics here and there. I don't see the problem. Here is the problem. This is exactly what we're scared of happening. But like I said, if there was a bright side to this whole situation, it's that Seth Rogen and Sarah Silverman might actually be learning their lesson a little bit. They might actually be taking a step back and saying, you know what, maybe I was wrong in this whole situation. Maybe we went too far. If the entire world is telling us that we went too far with tweets like this, where we really pissed off tens of thousands of white supremes with our new show Santa Inc., which is now available on HBO Max. Please read the responses to this tweet for confirmation. And if you don't know what he's referring to the Rotten Tomatoes score, which you can find a way to see the actual amount of user ratings. You just have to have a couple extra clicks because obviously they want to protect the ratings for Santa Inc. They want to protect Seth Rogen and Sarah Silverman. They just want to protect everyone who's involved with creation of Santa Inc. So you have to have a couple of extra clicks, and they always do this. Rotten Tomatoes always tries to protect these shows like Kevin Smith's Motu, everything that has a really bad rating, Captain Marvel. For whatever reason, they want to protect these bigger shows, or not even a big show. Santa Inc. is not a big show. Captain Marvel and Motu were kind of big shows, but this show is not big. No one would have even cared about it if the controversy didn't exist. So I guess it kind of did work in their favor a little bit, if you want to say that. But like I was saying, if there was a bright side, it's that Seth Rogen and Sarah Silverman have no choice but to take a step back and say, you know what? If everyone in the entire world is telling us that we're wrong, then we might just actually be wrong, even if it's a little bit, even if it's just him second guessing it a little bit in his subconscious, and he's not even doing it consciously. It's just in his subconscious, and he kind of brushes it off. Just that little victory is worth it. It's worth all the ratios that we've given them. It's worth the Santa Inc. trailer. I can't even see the dislikes anymore. I have the extension installed and it's been working for the last few days, but maybe maybe YouTube was able to fix that and make the extensions not work anymore, the Chrome extensions. Let me know in the comments if the extension is still working for you. I'm no longer able to see the dislikes on this trailer. Let me know in the comments where the number's at if you can still see it. But Rotten Tomatoes score 4%. I know that 1,100 people didn't watch this show. I know that all these people who left these reviews didn't watch this show, the good and the bad reviews, because believe it or not, there are good reviews on here, but they're all just saying stuff like, just here to piss off the right people and stuff like that. Exactly what Seth Rogen was saying in this tweet. So there are people out there who agree with Seth Rogen, obviously, other lunatics out there who think that everyone who leaving bad reviews on this show, everyone who doesn't like politics being injected into Christmas, are just white supremes and racist and stuff like that. All the istophobes that they all throw around. They all truly think that. They're lunatics, they're brainwashed, but they truly do think that. They're not being disingenuous. They really do think that, and it's really sad that they do think that. But like I said, Seth Rogen and Sarah Silverman have kind of admitted defeat on the whole Santa Inc. situation. They're not tweeting at all, and most of the time whenever, not just Seth Rogen and Sarah Silverman, but most of these actors like Kevin Smith and the creators in general, like Kevin Smith and all the other actors and creatives, Simu Liu, who just still tweeting about Shang-Chi. The guy's another lunatic, still tweeting about Shang-Chi. Most of the time, these creatives, these actors and directors and producers, whatever they are, they'll continue to tweet about their projects. They'll continue to tweet about their shows months after they come out to keep promoting them. But Seth Rogen has kind of stopped ever since this tweet. I think that that's him realizing and admitting defeat. that he's saying, you know what, this show might have been a mistake. Like I said, even if it's just the smallest amount, even if it's just a little bitty bit that he's like, you know what, I might have gone too far with this one, it's still a victory. It's a huge victory for everyone who has been trying to fight back against this kind of stuff. We're seeing small victories here and there. Same thing with Sarah Silverman. The last thing that she posted was this little thing that got this clip where, you know, they make fun of the Jewish culture. A lot of people took offense to it. Like I said, not too well versed in the Jewish culture, so I don't know exactly why this is extremely offensive. But a lot of people did take extreme offense to this. As you see, 785 replies and only 927 likes. Pretty bad ratio. So Seth Rogen didn't even tweet that one out. He hasn't tweeted since December 2nd. He's kind of just taken a step back from social media, not promoting Santa Inc. at all. They both accepted defeat. They both realized that this show is just not good. It's not good for our brands. The show's not good in general. It's a cool concept that we ruined by injecting a crazy amount, an insane amount of politics into this show, that we ruined this entire show by doing that. And the only reason why people are even caring about this show and watching the show in the first place is because of the insane amount of politics that we injected into it. But it's not in the way that they thought it was going to go. This didn't go the way, in the words of Luke Skywalker, this isn't going to go the way that you think. And it really didn't go the way that they think. But as you can see, 0 critic ratings. 0 critics have reviewed this show. Now that could be, you know, a few reasons. Maybe they just don't care about the show. It's too small to where they just don't care. Because like I said, the only reason why people care about the show is because of the controversy. So why would the critics go review it if no one cares except for the controversy? So that could be reason number one. Reason number two is they could be protecting Santa Inc. because they know that they don't want to jeopardize their careers. They don't want to jeopardize their integrity and stuff like that by leaving a good review, even though the show is god awful, and they don't want to, you know, lie and leave a good review, even though that's what they would prefer to do to protect Santa Inc. They can't do that to protect their integrity, even though most people don't really care about what critics say anymore. Anyone with a brain, anyone who actually follows movies closely, knows that critics most of the time aren't really a good gauge of if a movie is good or bad, or if a show is good or bad. No one really cares anymore, but they somehow still make a career out of it. Let's go check on the IMDb score just to see a little update. It's still at 1.1. I think it says 10,000 reviews. 9,000 people have left a 1-star review. That is pretty insane. And then 415 people say 10 stars. And like I said, I would say that most of these 10,000 people haven't seen the show. It's just kind of a culture war at this point. It's just kind of a political battle at this point, which is so insane to me that that's what movies and TV have come to now. But Seth Rogen and Sarah Silverman and everyone else who created this show, everyone else who greenlit this show, have created this political war, this culture war. It's not the people that are leaving the reviews, because if this show didn't exist, if this show wasn't the way it is in the first place, there would be no war to be had. If this was just a raunchy Christmas show with some raunchy jokes involving Santa Claus and stuff like that, it would actually be kind of interesting. I don't think anyone would watch it because no one really cares about Seth Rogen and Sarah Silverman. They're kind of washed up and weren't really funny in the first place, but especially Sarah Silverman was never really funny in the first place. But if they didn't create the show the way that they created it, if they didn't inject all those politics, then there would be no war to be had. It's their fault that this is going on. It's their fault that their Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb scores are nothing but a culture war, a political war, and I think it is getting to them. I think they have admitted defeat on the whole situation. Like I said, Sarah Silverman hasn't tweeted about the show since December 4th, and Seth Rogen hasn't tweeted in general since December 2nd. So I think that they're taking a step back and realizing we might have gone a little bit too far with this one. Now, I don't think that's going to change their philosophy on things too much. I just think for this particular show, they might admit defeat. They might wave the white flag a little bit, but let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you did enjoy this video, please leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. If you want to follow me on Twitter, links to that in the description as well. Thank you for watching the video. Hope to see you in the next one.